Ethan, Noah, Emma, Gabriel, and Briar, those 5 have never been vaccinated, with the exception of Ethan when he was 2. Gosh, it was so long ago. He was around 2 years old, I think. He was in the bathtub and grabbed my razor and sliced his hand pretty bad on it. And so we took him to the hospital, and they told us that he would need a tetanus shot. We didn't know that in the United States, the tetanus is not separated from the, I believe, the DTaP?
Yeah.
Is it the DTaP? Yeah, and so what they did was they administered a whole series of DTaP to Ethan, not knowing, and I was told them, I said, we do not vaccinate, and the only thing I want is the tetanus because it was cut so bad and it was a dirty razor. And they said, oh, yeah, that's fine. They ended up administering to him the entire DTaP series without me knowing. That's why when he went and got the vaccines in, I think December was Ethan's first round, they said, well, you've already had a DTaP. And he's like, no, I only had, the only vaccination I've ever gotten was when I was a baby, cut my finger and had, you know, had that one vaccine. And they're like, no, your record showed that you had more. And I found out now that's why they don't separate the two. So they just, without me consenting to it.
Can I ask something? Does Ethan
Sure.
suffer breathing problems?
He did. He suffered, he was very, very healthy until he was probably, I would say, again, it's so hard for me, especially with so many kids, I kind of get them all mixed up.
Yeah,
but Ethan is the only one out of the 5 that has never been vaccinated. Other than that DTaP they gave him, it was not, probably a year later, he started getting really bad asthma.
Yes, very
real bad asthma. In fact, we can show records that about twice a year from the age probably 7 on up to 14 or 15, he was hospitalized almost twice a year because every time he would get sick, it would kick in the asthma so bad. There was in one point, probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, he was actually care flighted to Akron Children's because he was just that bad for asthma attacks. So, yeah. And that's another thing very interesting, too, is that great eyes run in our family. Like, nobody in our family out of the 7 kids wears glasses. No one but Ethan. And Ethan's eyes were perfectly fine until he was probably school age. And they're like, oh, well, he can't see. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. His dad's got great vision, so do I. And none of the other kids ever has had problems with vision. And they're like, well, he can't see.
And so I feel like the media, well, obviously, is using my brother as a PR propaganda stunt. And that's why he's speaking in front of the Senate, because he's not a doctor. He doesn't know anything about vaccines. But they are using my own brother to push a state agenda, which is something that I definitely will not allow, especially because it's not actually rooted in something that's based in logic and information. They picked the wrong kid, because if they would have picked any normal kid from a normal family, they would have been fine. Well, not fine, but they picked my brother. And I'm the libertarian that's not going to stand for it, and I'm going to fight back, and they're going to wish they never chose Ethan for this. Same with my mom. Me and my mom are going to work on this so hard that they're going to wish that they chose somebody else because they chose the wrong guy, because we are not standing for it, and it is not going to go down. And if they try to use it to increase government oppression and tyrannical notions that are embedded across the whole society, we're not standing for it.
That's exactly what they're doing. Then you're not standing for it, because that's exactly what.
Absolutely. That's why I agreed to this interview.
I'm glad. Good.